Okay, I'm here with Dafydd Gruffydd. I think that's the Welshest name I've ever said in English before. Dafydd Gruffydd, of Morlais. Today I'm just going to ask you some very basic questions on Morlais. We could all learn a bit more about it. I think it's a very important project in the area. So to start off with, could you just let us know a bit about what Morlais actually is?
Well, Morlais is essentially a tidal energy project. Now, tidal energy is very simply the process of extracting energy from the tidal current and turning it into electric power to use in our homes. So Morlais is a project aimed at attracting tidal energy developers who are very much in their infancy in terms of technology to the shores of Anglesey to test their devices. And our role as the Morlais project is to do two things essentially, but there are other things as well. First of all is to get consent, broad consent for the whole zone, so they don't have to individually go through that process, which can take many years, and also connect the zone to the grid so they can export power. So it makes their life easier to attract them to Anglesey to test their devices.
Fantastic. So how did this actually start? How did it come from an idea to actually a big project like it is now?
Well, we've always been interested in renewable energy in Menter Môn and ensuring maximum local benefits. And in 2014, the current states invited companies to bid for the right to be leaseholders of a tidal energy zone. And there were 6 in the UK, and one of them was on Anglesey, the tidal energy development zone off Hory Island. So we put our hats in the ring, we bid for the zone, and we were successful. And one of the reasons, apart from putting a fairly competent business plan together, was the fact that we could ensure maximum local benefits. And the current states liked the fact that we were a local enterprise agency, we were well connected with the local economy, and we could ensure that local businesses, if successful, could provide services to the Morlais zone.
Fantastic. And speaking of bringing this project to this area, how important is it for this project to bring back to the local community and really enrich the area?
Well, it ties in with most of our activity really, because at Menter Môn we try to add value to local resource. Now, on the face of it, there's nothing linking, say, the Welsh language or the heritage to the tide, but essentially we're looking to extract value from the tide, and we do the same with heritage or the language or the natural environment or food. So we try to identify the things that make us different, and see if we can maximise the value to the local area, to the local community, to the local economy from that. So that's why Menter Môn is involved in tidal energy in the same way as it's involved in lots of other sectors as well.
So when we're talking about Morlais now itself, who is actually involved in it? How many people, and how, as a team, do you work together?
At the moment, it's still fairly small. There are 4 of us involved in various degrees in Morlais. And the last 3 years has been involved in speaking to developers from around the globe, in Canada, Sweden, Ireland. I should say we haven't been there, they've come here, unfortunately for us. So we've worked with them to attract them to the zone, and we have 8 have signed up to date. And we are in the process of putting together funding bids, including European bids, to enable us to fund the first stages of the consent and the grid. So most of our work has been involved in that. If we get the funding, we'll have a team of probably about 6 people working on it for 6 years, for 2 years I should say. And after that, there will also be opportunities for local employment as part of the wider development and with the developers themselves.
Because our project is trying to bridge the gap between companies and organisations and young people in the area, what would you say to young people that might be watching now or have an interest in this kind of area? What advice would you tell them?
First of all, I'd like to emphasise that there are opportunities locally. Within a stone's throw of where we are in Llangefni, there are a number of companies who are leading in the country and around the globe. So they do exist, and quite often people almost assume there are no opportunities locally and have to move away to succeed, and that's not always the case. And also, they may look in the papers and see there are no jobs being advertised, or not jobs that interest them being advertised. But I know, having spoken to these companies, that they are always on the lookout for good people. And good people usually don't wait to see an advert in the paper. They'll knock on doors and say, I'm passionate about what you're doing, can I be involved? And quite often, opportunities can arise from that. So be proactive, don't just sit on the sofa and wait for an advert. for your perfect job to appear, because it won't. But the opportunities do exist out there, so get out there and knock on doors.
Cool. You've heard it from Dafydd himself. I don't know why you're still watching us now. You should have already paused the video and left. Nonetheless, I think that's a really good line to finish off with. Thank you, Dafydd.
Thank you.
If you'd like to close off.
Okay, thank you, bye.